you know what time it is. We are back again for another episode hunting for the best watches in all of Tokyo. And today, we're in my favorite neighborhood, Ginza. We'll hit my usual spots, hopefully find something good. If you're ever in Tokyo, do not miss Ginza, the richest neighborhood in all of Japan. It is the epicenter for both luxury and fine dining. Now, I understand, all of this may sound intimidating, but keep watching. I'm going to show you why I consider Ginza the best watch neighborhood in the world. So, Ginza's main street is lined with the usual big-name brands, Rolex, Grand Seiko, etc. But I want to show you what you can find hidden around its idyllic backalleys. So today, we will be visiting these 5 incredible vintage watch stores. This is Carese, one of the most respected watch shops in all of Tokyo and one of the best places to buy vintage Rolexes. Carese probably is your favorite dealer's favorite dealer. They have different locations across the city with slightly different selections, but they primarily sell pieces from the 40s to 70s with a focus on Rolex at all price levels for both men and women, so bring your partner along if they're into watches. I will cover all their amazing Rolex pieces in the upcoming Tokyo Guide to Rolex, but these were the watches I considered buying on this occasion. First up is theoretically a women's watch, but I like it, so you have to cope with me. It's a Movado Aquatic from 1940s, I believe. It really stood out for me because of its stepped case and for its Breguet numerals. It's tiny, must be like 20 millimeters. It has this like sector dial, like a silver and copper color combination, which I think is really classy and very vintage. I feel like I'm in a 1940s crime novel or something. So here it is on my wrist. Tiny. It's a ladies' watch, but you know what? I think it looks quite good. For your wife, for your girlfriend, for your lover. These two are both Longines Tretacche for the 3 notches on the back. Tretacche means 3 notches in Italian. Why are the Longines Tretacche important, or at least very desired? Few factors. First, they're famous for their very simplistic and arguably beautiful design. They were made and they were popular in the 1940s, and they're sort of seen as a tool watch that was the precursor in a way of modern sports watches. Let's see the price, let's see the damage. So the Longines Tretacche in question, this one goes for 270,000 yen, which should be around $1,800. But now let's look at the more interesting of the two Tretacche, more interesting and rarer, and feels definitely more hefty. What makes this watch special is the case. If you can see the bezel, it has this triple stepped bezel, which is quite peculiar and quite rare. And it has these beautiful blue leaf hands. Even though they're the same size, because the bezel is larger, the dial is smaller, it feels quite a little bit smaller, but they are the same size. It's really beautiful. Also, the cursive Longines gives it a touch of class. Yeah, I think it's quite classy and quite elevated. Even on a black strap, it will look great. Price-wise, so this one goes for 630,000 yen tax-free. And lastly, something else a bit more peculiar, a 1940 GLC rectangular. So this was around the same time the Reverso came out, but as you can see, it has very much the same design language as the Reverso. It has exactly the same dial layout and sub-dial. I'm a huge fan of the Reverso, so this is right up my alley. I have to say, it's quite a large example from this era, and particularly it's quite thick. I really like it. I don't know if I would choose this over Reverso, but definitely something you don't see every day. Full price is 968,000 yen, which makes it 6K. For now, I will pass. We just started looking around, so it's not yet time to pull out my wallet. Next up, WatchCTI, one of the best Seiko specialists in all of Tokyo. If you have been following the channel, you have already seen WatchCTI. It was recently featured in my Tokyo Guide to Seiko. As a quick summary, it is one of the best places for rare vintage Japanese watches, Seiko, Grand Seiko, Citizen and Orient, but they also have other non-Japanese pieces that are often overlooked. First up, Universal Jeanette gold-plated with a very beautiful dial that I've actually never seen before. Because this gently striped bronze dial, I think it fits quite well on the wrist. It's only 34 millimeters, but because of the case shape, it feels a little bit bigger. And price-wise, this is really not too bad. So tax-free, it's 80,000 yen, which works out around 500 USD. Next, something really weird. We have a 1987 Eberhard quartz silver watch. It has a very vintage style. It has almost like a 1920s, 1930s. As you can see, there's quite a lot of patina. It's hard to see from the camera, but truly peculiar watch. Price-wise, it works out to around 90,000 tax-free, 600 USD. And lastly, we have a watch from one of my favorite brands. So this is a Gallet. Gallet used to be a really good watch brand until the 1950s. It was a top watch brand for air pilots. So much so that one of them was worn by President Truman and became known as the Gallet Truman. This tax included, it's 198,000 yen, which is 180,000 tax-free. 3 interesting and peculiar pieces. And now, a quick thank you to our sponsor, you. My mission is to keep this channel independent and unbiased, and your direct contribution can make this possible. If you're in a position to help and you would like to do so, click the join button below for extra perks like behind the scenes, Q&As, and much more. Your support in any form means the world. Thank you. Let's keep hunting. Okay, the next stop is another interesting mall. This is Ginza 5, and it was one of the first malls ever built in Tokyo. As you'll see inside, it's very retro, and on the second floor, there's a really interesting store. Let's go. As you can see, it's a very 1960s experience. I think it was built in the 1960s. So in the middle of the mall, you find the stairs, and to reach the shop we're going to, second floor. Once you're up, turn left. And you can just about see it there in the distance. Located on the second floor of Ginza 5, we have Antiqurious. This is one of the most underrated shops in Tokyo, and one not many people know about. This wall is a mix of Swiss brands, so all up here is all Gilet Couture. Quite a few reverses, if you can see. Some are pretty good prices. Then down here we have a nice Piaget collection. Sometime all lace. Quite like this protocol here at the end, a little tank. Quite simple but classic. On this wall we have a nice mix of Vacheron Constantin, APs, Breguet, few Patek Philippes. A wall completely dedicated to Cartier. A lot of these are Mas de Cartier, which can be quite controversial. Up here we have more Cartier, some Santos on top. I always really like this Santos Galbi with the applied numerals. I think it looks really sleek. This cabinet right up the front, they have the more higher end watches, and as you can see they have quite a few interesting tanks. Two of my favorites here on the side, Tank Basculant. So this is sort of like the GLC Reverso. Let's show the Santos. Goes for around 10k here. It's not cheap. It is definitely one of the best places to buy Cartier. And we will take a closer look at these pieces in a future video, but today I was interested in these. First up we have this beautiful Reverso with a blue sunburst dial. Really stunning. I believe it's from the late 90s, early 2000s. I have a Reverso Black Shadow, but this one is quite attractive, I'm not gonna lie. I don't love the white date wheel as usual, but really beautiful. In case you didn't know, this is how the Reverso works. The Reverso was invented for polo players in India, actually. So you turn it around and you lock it and you play polo like this, so your watch can get hit without the crystal getting destroyed. And then when you're done, turn it around, you can set other time. So this one is around tax-free 570,000 yen, 4k US dollars. Next up, another GLC, should be from the same area, GLC rectangular, and it has this beautiful stepped case, stainless steel, very clean white dial. I generally like my dials a bit more textured or with more going on, but very classic. Quite like it actually. This one tax-free, it's 452,000 yen. Oh, with box as well. Box and paper, wow. And last, it's a Corum Bamboo. This is quite a peculiar watch. 18k yellow gold. Unfortunately, these quartz, which I don't mind as much these days, but still, you know, I'm a big fan of Corum. They make some really interesting watches back in their days. This is around just under 2k. I really like them, and they're pretty fairly priced, but I'm not sold yet, especially because of where we're going next. Shellman in Ginza is a collector's paradise with some of the best watches in all of Tokyo. This is one of Tokyo's OG dealers. It has been dealing in rare pieces since first opening in 1971. I would definitely rank it in the top 5 of watch shops in Tokyo, but I will let their watches speak for them. So, as you enter Shellman, right here on the right, the first thing you find is their Omega selection. There are quite a few interesting pieces. For example, here there is a really nice caliber 321. You then find the IWC collection and their Longines. Then, one of my favorite sections, which is a kind of a mix of all the brands from that era. First you have Universal Genève, then you get Movado, and then you have a big mix of GLC, Breitling, and others. This is the Rolex selection. They mostly specialize in vintage pieces, so think Digest, Oyster Perpetuals, Bubble Bags, but they do have some sporty pieces too. Up on the second floor, that's where you'll find the special watches. Come with me. So this is the more quiet, more private second floor, where you find many of the more collection pieces. Rare Pateks, Rare Vacheron, Rare IP, and here at the end there is the watch that we recorded last time, the 1463, the Tasti Tondi. First up is this Omega Genève in 18K yellow gold Disco Volante. I have a bit of a thing for Disco Volantes. I think they look great on the wrist, as we will see in a second. The case has this linen hammer texture. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. And it has this beautiful deep silver dial with a sunburst effect. I think it looks really stunning. The dial really sinks. Like it has a beautiful case, but the dial also has this sunburst effect that is really beautiful. So this Omega Genève Disco Volante is priced at 450,000 yen, tax-free, which is around 3K USD. Next up, another favorite of mine. This is a Gallet Flying Officer. This is in beautiful condition. The dial is almost perfect, and so is the bezel. And so is the case, honestly. It's really rare to find one in such good condition. Gallet made some of the best pilot chronographs. These are also quite well sized for being from the 50s. Price-wise, this goes for 1.1 tax-free, 7K USD. I really wanted one of these for a long time, but I don't think today is the day. And last is this Rolex chronometers from the 1930s, which is just so peculiar. It has this rose salmon dial that just complements the gold case perfectly. The case on the side even has this little texture that just gives it an extra little depth. A really unique looking Rolex. Really peculiar, really classy. Roman numerals. This little Rolex comes down to 900,000 yen tax-free. Depending on what you're looking for, for this price there is many other great Rolexes you can have from perhaps a little bit later, from the 50 and 60 Oyster Perpetuals, some bubble backs perhaps. But if you're looking for something really vintage and unique, this is a great option. 3 really incredible pieces, although a little bit more on the expensive side of what I usually like to spend. We're still in the early stages of our watch hunting adventure, so I don't want to blow my budget just yet. Tell me when it's going. This is Vin-Time, one of my favorite spots in all of Tokyo. Located on the 7th floor of Ankyo Men's in Ginza, I always buy something when I come here. This small store is hard to reach, but it's so worth it. So first up, you have the IWC cabinet. I think IWC is still very undervalued in the market. If you're looking for a simple vintage dress piece, these are incredible options. Right at the beginning of the shop, you have the display that's filled with Seikos. These are some of the sportier Seikos. So you have a few divers, you have the 1964 monopusher from the Olympics, also a few citizens, really undervalued in the market. In this section of the central display, you have Seikos chronograph. So you have a Kakume and other chronographs from that era. And down here, my favorite section is the Grand Seiko and King Seiko section. You have a Grand Seiko first, a Grand Seiko second, and a King Seiko first. Next, just behind it, you have the Omega selection. So you have quite a few dress watches here on the left. In the center, you have the sportier. You have a Speedmaster up here. You have a Speedmaster Reduced, which I think we'll try in a second. This Seamaster with the bracelet, and their Seamaster collection, which I often speak about. But it's here on the central display. You will find some of the rarest watches Vin-Time has to offer. As you can see here, there are some Audemars Piguet, a Vacheron Constantin, a Piaget. Towards this side, we have a mixed array of chronographs from Breitling, Universal Genève, Excelsior Park, and a Zenith up there. And lastly, on this side, they have now a nice selection of Rolexes. That's what you're looking for, and you're looking for an Oyster date, or I see they have a few Submariners and GMTs. Vin-Time, now it's also a good place to buy Rolexes. Let's start with a more modern 1999 Omega Speedmaster Reduced with a very deep blue dial. I think this is actually my favorite Speedmaster Reduced. I remember when I started to get into watches, these little Speedmaster Reduced were very underpriced. This blue version was always the one that caught my eye. So the Speedmaster Reduced, it's basically like the Speedmaster Professional, but a bit smaller, and the chronograph function is added through a module that's attached to the base movement. It used to be controversial because the idea of the module was not really liked by purists, but as the trend has moved towards smaller watches, these little pieces have really picked up in value. So this is how it looks on the wrists, and I just love this sunburst blue dial. It also has a calendar function with a pointer date. This Omega Speedmaster Reduced can be at $1.6, $1.7 thousand. This is a 1940 early Universal Genève Compacts. Universal Genève, as you might know, one of the great forgotten chronograph brands. They used to be very innovative and really cool. They were really up there in terms of quality. So this is an early compact from 1940. And what's special about this model is the case and lag. It's quite an unusual configuration. So quite an interesting piece. Dial is in good condition, but not great. I think it's quite cute. It's 34.6 millimeters. Quite a beautiful little watch. The hands and dials, it's all original. And the price as well is quite good, 330,000 yen, tax-free. That's around 2K. And lastly, vintage Audemars Piguet, time only. From 1970, around 32 millimeter, I believe, has this very beautiful linen texture pattern on the case, and it's in 18K white gold. Quite a beautiful piece. These pieces, I think, are still pretty good value. Yeah, it looks sleek, it looks beautiful, very thin ends, very classy, very understated. All of this is for only 4K, something like that. Maybe a little bit more, 4.2, 4.3. I didn't end up buying any of these three, but while filming a separate segment for an upcoming guide, I found a great deal on this vintage Grand Seiko. Let me buy it, bring it home, and tell you all about it. This is a 1969 35mm stainless steel Grand Seiko 4520 7000. It is part of the 45GS family, a group of watches powered by the revered 4520 high-beat manual movement. One of the most important movements in Seiko's history that was initially created to compete with the Swiss at the Neuchâtel Observatory trials in Geneva in the 60s. The 45GS family closely followed the philosophies of Seiko's legendary designer Taro Tanaka. As you can see, the case has a very peculiar geometric octagonal design with really sharp features. It is extravagant compared to the more collectible vintage GS models out there, but I find it really interesting. It has a couple dinks on the top right lag, but overall it is in great condition. On the case back, we have the famed Grand Seiko medallion, a beautiful gold addition that attests the watch passing Grand Seiko's internal accuracy standards. But like for many other Grand Seikos, the star of the show might be the dial. The specific variant comes with a white linen texture in perfect condition. It is really beautiful and subtle. The 4520 7000 also came in two other makeups, one with white dial gold cap case and another with blue matte dial stainless steel case. They're all stunning, but this one takes it for me. The white linen dial is also famous for developing all sorts of patinas, but this example still looks pristine. Overall, I think the 4520 7000 is a beautiful vintage Grand Seiko that can be found at pretty reasonable prices. This one cost me approximately $885, a pretty good deal. What do you think? This marks the end of our Ginza adventure. It was quite fruitful. We bought a watch, so what more can you ask? Leave a like and subscribe for more watch hunts and guides.